My name's John Ronza, and this is my wife, Paula. And we're both from Memphis, born and raised in Memphis. We moved to Little Rock, Arkansas, 1984. I'm one of the owners of RP Power. We sell residential and commercial generators, backup generators.
Well, I'm a housewife, been a housewife since I had my first child, mom, grandmother of 3 now. When I was 20 years old, my mother passed away. She was only 46. She had been sick, but for some reason it took us all off guard. And we were not prepared. I don't think we ever even talked about anything when it came to death, even though she had been sick. So, and my brother actually has probably the worst memory of it. He was 22 at the time. And the first thing we had to do was pick a casket out. And my brother said he remembers my dad and I standing there with just a glazed look on our face, and he had to take over. He had to take control and do everything. And he has a bad memory of that. A few years later, my father remarried, and he and my stepmother ended up doing pre-planning for funeral. So my dad learned from that, for one. But I don't want my kids to have to deal with any of that.
This is a subject that so many people want to avoid. You know, some people even want to avoid writing a will. They're like, well, that's just kind of creepy. Well, it's not. You know, when we got here and we realized this is a pretty simple process, we've both been through it before. We were through it during a very stressful time. Now we can do it when we've got a clear mind. No stress, we can sit there and decide what would I want? You know, what would Paula want? The kids can say, well, I know what they would want, they picked it out. So that kind of makes it simple.
I think my parents, back in the day, just part of the reason they probably never really thought that much about it either was probably money. You know, they didn't have a lot of money. But when you think about it, you know, you have a payment plan that you can do if you want to do that. I mean, they make it easy enough, and it's like, you know, you're gonna have to pay for it eventually. Why would you wait until the last minute to have to come up with a lump sum of money when you could do it over time? We met with Candace, I think it was, with Roller. It kind of had everything there. If I don't get around to telling my children, it's all written down. It's somewhere that, you know, Roller has everything. And it was actually easier than I thought. I don't remember how long it took. It could have been a couple hours or something, but
I'm not even sure it took that long.
It may not have. I remember we just sat down and she pretty much had it all. I mean, she knew what she was doing because we just went step by step, picked this out.
I would tell someone who's thinking about pre-planning, now's the time to do it, really, because wherever you are, you're clear of mind. It's a good time to do it while you're not under stress. Even if you came here to Roller and looked at the options and you had to go home and think about it, you can look at the options, talk about it, pray about it, come back and decide, these are the decisions that we made. But you're doing it when you're not stressed. So I would say, by all means, if you're trying to be responsible and you've done the pre-planning, estate planning, will, trust, things of that sort, this is a logical next step.